Hello, my name is Creostix, and welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena, which I've decided to continue because it's been going so well the previous times. I swear, on my offline time, I actually had some calm days when I just made a very specific attempt to win about 1 to 3 games per day and no more. So just like be all zen about it. I I kind of succeeded. Sometimes a little angry, but kind of succeeded. It didn't like ruin my day like the previous videos did, but I feel like that streak is gonna end right today because I have a suspicion that I get more angry when I talk about what is happening while it's happening in video games. It's kind of interesting, but I think that is the case. I'm wondering. It's an interesting case study, probably, of why it happens, but or there would be an interesting case study in there somewhere. But nonetheless, uh, we can hope and dream. But I have consistently always failed to remain calm when things start going down. Uh, so yeah, I kind of got a bit annoyed on my offline time when I met like a discard cards deck. I've also met a decent amount of like deck wipe decks, just like remove everything from the field and basically start the game over where we both have lots of mana but nothing on the field, and that essentially ends the game for me because I can't get anything going anymore. With this deck, you can't, unless you've been exceptionally lucky. All right, so let's do a really quick like recap of what I'm currently playing. I think it's changed a little bit since the last time around. I might have actually changed it still just because I made it. But yeah, so 3 cleric classes, 4 Lunarch veterans, 2 fortifying draughts, 1 banishing slash, which I think is different from before. Uh, so destroy up to 1 target artifact, enchantment, or tapped creature. Then, if you control an artifact and an enchantment, create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with vigilance. I just need enchantment destruction that's useful for other stuff as well to prevent it from becoming a dead card. That's basically it. 1 hallowed priest, 2 impassioned orators, 1 rune of sustenance, which I'm drawing cards is important, but I feel like every time I get Rune of Sustenance, I feel like I'm just wasting a thing. Because getting 1 card instead of. Like, I use 2 mana to pull 1 card, and this is essentially useless, as is just. I feel like this play always ends up being useless. I'm considering changing this up for something else. 4 Voice of the Blessed, 1 Gala Greeters, which is a new addition, I believe so. It's been working surprisingly okay so far. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, choose either +1/+1 counter on Gala Greeters or create a tapped treasure token, or you gain 2 life. And only choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. So it can be done a total of 3 times in a turn, which doesn't tend to be a problem for me. It's extraordinarily rare to have more than 3. Like, I don't think I've had it happen within the last, like, 40 games at least. 4 Prosperous Innkeepers, 2 Trelasara Moon Dancers, 1 Borrowed Time. This is a new thing. I used to run the artifact compression or whatever it's called. The that changes a permanent into a treasure token. I'm trying this now when it says, like, it's when borrowed time enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until borrowed time leaves the battlefield. It's not perfect because it's not an final exile, because they could still destroy this, so we'll see. Uh, but also the artifact compression, I forget. Hold on, the it's called it's a 3 mana thing. I remember that much. It's Minimus Containment, right? So the minus with this one is it creates a treasure token for the enemy. The plus is that it causes the target to be finally gone. Like, there's no way to bring it back. Or at least not a, no. It goes into the graveyard eventually, I think. But still, it's harder to bring it back without that. Well, I mean, I guess it's like a pros and cons. The way to bring this back is, or the target of this to bring it back is to use a graveyard, like a bring back card, whereas the other one is just destroy enchantment. I'm kind of ping ponging between the two. For Righteous Valkyries, I used to run the oh boy, Kabira Takedown, I think it was called. Yes. Uh, and now I have instead 2 Bala Ged recoveries instead of 1. The reasoning being, I have never ever ever used this within the last, like, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 games. And it just doesn't come up. Like, I get it in my hand, but I don't get any benefit from it. As a land, it's like, well, I would rather use something else, but I'll use it if I gotta. But the damage equaling the amount of creatures I have is just... If I have enough creatures to actually make use of this, the game is already going so well, I tend to do something else. And if I would need removal cards, I tend to not have anything on the field more than like maybe 1 creature, and it's essentially useless. So it doesn't come up. Bala Ged recovery is not perfect. Sometimes there's not stuff in my graveyard, but more often there is. So I can at least use that some way. I don't know. 2 Colossal Majesties, 1 Wandering Emperor, the Planeswalker, 2 Bonds of Discipline, 1 Elspeth Resplendent, and a bunch of lands. 10 plains, 6 forests, Branchloft Pathway, Overgrown Farmland, 3 Brokers Hideouts, and 1 Cavalry Courtyard. It is quite imperfect. It isn't exactly copy-pasted from the internet. Barely an idea or two is from the internet, so yeah. Alright. So with that, let's see if we can get angry. We probably will. Oh boy. Yeah, I've had... I had decent luck for a couple of days, where the win percentage was like about 50, but then it went downhill very hard again. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, usually how all of this goes down is they either just use BS mechanics like discard cards, or just they have more luck, or they're quicker, or, you know, all of this stuff. You've seen my previous videos if you're probably here. It's all about BS and anger, and that's that. Ah, red and blue, huh? Okay, so draw cards and burn stuff, probably. On a couple of weird occasions, I've had the opponent just quit on a spot where they just, yeah, I mean, this is the usual stuff. They tend to destroy everything I have when I get them into the field, and the game doesn't get going. Well, I mean, it gets going for them eventually, but not for me. Wandering Mind, yeah, win the game, yeah, got it. Okay. I did not get what I need. Yeah, this game is over. I can't play the cards. There's no recovering from that. I need 3 mana, or I need to just go. Like, we're just wasting our time if I don't go there. Like, 3 mana or just quit, because you're just wasting like 15-30 minutes of your time on a game that there's, let's say, less than 10% of win possibility at best, I think. So it's not going. And when a deck has removal, they tend to have like almost they tend to have enough removal to remove everything I ever play, and they still have enough to put stuff into the field and win the game. So there tends to not be a reason to keep going. So yeah, the Rune of Sustenance here, I constantly, I'm feeling these days that even if this is a land card, I'd rather have the land card. Like, I'm just using a card to get one card. Something gets lifelink, but it's almost always basically useless. So I'm thinking of changing that up to something different. Like, it's just not working. Alright, so I have a little bit of... a couple of turns time to pull something useful, and if I don't, I need to quit again. Alright, yeah, I've considered running Luminarch Aspirants, but when I tried, they were always stolen from me. So the game just matchmaked me against players who steal cards. I don't know what was up with that, but it's the case, so I can't play them. Okie dokie. Well, I can get at least 3 mana going in there. Yeah, this works. Why not? Yeah, I still think that Rune of Sustenance should probably be something else. At least Colossal Majesty, if it gets going, it draws cards consistently. Like, it at least brings something to the table. This doesn't. Like, any other card, I think, would be better. Well, almost any, but you know what I mean. Any of the stuff that I usually run, basically, what I'm trying to say. Do. Endless Detour. Sure. Oh boy. Okay, so... do you have multiples of those in your hand? I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. They tend to do that. Right. So hard removal. Nothing beyond that. Okay, I'm kind of on the verge of quitting, but let's see. I think there's still a chance. I was wondering if I should put the land in there tapped, but... oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I've wondered about the blue decks, because they draw cards endlessly. And I should probably consider going to a blue creature deck instead. Mm-mm. That is a pretty bad, overall hand, huh? Yeah. I'm wondering if my luck just... because my luck was decently okay before I took away Kabira Takedown. When I changed it into the second Bala Get Recovery, I haven't won a single game. This is, I think, the fourth or fifth loss in a row. Before that, I won basically half the games. Which I find kind of weird as well, that I won that many, but that's just how it apparently went down. Which means I probably should change it back. Like, there's something very weird about the RNG of all of that stuff. Like, it's just... the game hates you if you make a choice in the deck building. It's kind of weird. Like, it isn't random. It pits you against players based on, like, ideas that mean something. Yeah, I can't change this anymore. And I think I need to... I'll try one more game, but I think I have to change the deck back to having the Kabira Takedown, though. For some reason, the matchmaker started hating me the moment I did that. Actually, yeah, that's, what, 2 losses, right? Or 3. I'm just curious about, like, keeping score on that. Like, how bad it goes, because I also get worse luck when I'm streaming. I'm wondering if the game recognizes if it's being streamed. That is a pretty bad hand. Hmm. Jackster, hi, welcome. Glad to have you. I hope you've had an excellent couple of weeks. It's been a bit since I've been at this, so hi. Oh boy. And they're gonna destroy Valkyrie in 3, 2, 1. Like, I'm struggling to remember of a lot of burn cards with 2... Well, I mean, there's a lot of, like, of those, like, kill something that's non-demon, non-this and that. That's, I think, 2 mana. Doing good, got a new laptop. Oh, congratulations. I hope it has a long lifespan and has all of the good vibes in it. Yes, and with it. Right. Okay, I think we can call this basically done here. So yeah, maybe add like an Impassioned Orator instead of the Rune of Sustenance, maybe? Not sure. Right. No. It seems like they might be a vaguely beginner player, but it doesn't really usually help me. I'm oftentimes plagued with bad luck of such gargantuan proportions that even with a terrible ass deck, I usually get beaten, so... We'll see. Chariot, this and that, crew 2, create a token, copy, blah, 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 blah. Right, okay. But yeah, I need to I need to definitely change Rune of Sustenance away from the deck. It is not helping me. It could be worse. I don't know. But I would have to, yeah, no. Yeah, I'd have to change between the two, so, nah. Or choose, rather, so. Gav. I basically have enough land if I squint, so I need something else than that, too. Because of the token, I can do the Bond of Discipline if I have to, so... Yeah, that I can work with. Six and 6. I believe they can crew that into enough so I can't attack them yet. I never fully understood the crewing mechanics. They tend to just... I tend to, like, think I know them, and then they just use them in a way that I didn't understand was a possibility, and then they kill my stuff, so... I don't know. I mean, if you are capable of destroying stuff, then you have basically two options. Go for it. I don't think they're being just, trolly. They are probably just, like, learning stuff and stuff. But they are doing good work, though. When they get down to it, they're doing good work. And they have luck and I don't, so that all checks out, I gotta admit. There's... Let's do this first. I kind of do need the one land, though, now, so yeah. Let's do that. 7755, nah. Trixie, Trixie. Alright. I'm trying to understand, like, there's a lot of individual good cards on that deck, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of, I don't know. But that creates a treasure token, so maybe the joke's on me. No hurry. Okay, so... 7, 10, 15, 16, 17. So I think I should do the Lunarch Veteran first in there to add enough counters and stuff on the whole thing to hopefully be able to kill the opponent in one go. Alright, this time no more land, at least. Okay, so the only flying thing is tapped, yes? There's no range either. Alright. Okie dokie. So if I survive this turn, I should be able to win. Or if my creatures survive this turn as well. They could still deck wipe the whole thing, but... again, there's never it's never a good idea to think you're gonna win, because you tend to not then. So, let's just see. But yeah, I do think I need some changes on the overall thing. Okay, I shouldn't trust him to not have a good card in there. Okay. So that's one victory, I think, 2 losses. Unless I lost 3 and I just lost count because my brain just suppressed the trauma. But I believe that it's either or. There we are. So let's just try to trying to make some because I'm curious to see, like, because I swear to some sort of deity we hopefully don't all follow, that I tend to win half the games when I'm playing on my own, and then it just goes all the way down the drain when I do this. Okay, but okay, I think I'm done with Rune of Sustenance, though. It just does not do anything interesting. So my first guess is just add another Impassioned Orator to help have more engine cards, if that word makes sense in the context. Like, have cards that roll the engine of heal and add +1/+1 counters to heal. Because I don't have better cards to do that with anymore that I can add here, because I have all of the Innkeepers in and all of the Lunar Veterans in that can fit in there, so... But yeah, this never works. Okay. So with that... And the other one... I guess I... Okay, copy or takedown. Game. Thank you. Alright, we all here? Good. Yeah, the moment I changed these, like, into, like, the moment I took Kabira Takedown away, I just got absolutely thrown down the drain with the matchmaking, so... I don't know if that actually is anything of a reason, but I'm just... Something happened the moment I did that, so... Dunno. Alrighty. Gitnet, hi, welcome. Glad to have you, and hopefully you enjoy watching me suffer, because I tend to always just have the worst possible time when I do Magic on stream. Like, it's basically without fail. But I hope you've been doing good, and I hope time has treated you well during these past couple of weeks. Okay, the hand is pretty bad. Unless I get more mana, if I... yeah, we'll see. I did. Still too little white, but we'll see how it all turns out, okay? Okay. That treasure mana doesn't help anyone yet, but I can add a Valkyrie in the next turn, or... The Innkeeper and the Hallowed Priest. Either or. Finally getting back to normal, was out with the worst flu ever. 6 weeks?! Wow! Did you get, like, tested for the Rona, or was it just, like... I mean, as long as you're fine now, I guess it's... But, damn. My girlfriend had, like, a cough that lasted... I don't know if it's still, like, vaguely in there, but lasted for a couple of weeks after... Or 3 weeks or something after she had a small cold. I forget what it's called in English, but there's, like, a thing called, The exact translation for the thing I'm thinking is, like, a... lung pipe infection, but it's I swear it's not as bad as it sounds. I don't know what it's called in English. In like actual names, you know. Okay. So Righteous Val. Yes. Let's put this in. It's probably the most sensible one. Also, they got nothing into the field yet. That's weird. Huh. Well, but I'm sure they're gonna, but... White and black. Alright. Dramatic Finale. Creature tokens in control, +1/+1. Can just die. Better 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying. The ability triggers only once each turn. Alright. So that... Unlucky that I can't get both of the Hallowed Priests and Voice of the Blessed into the field. I think I should start with the Voice of the Blessed then. Okay. So 3, 3, 4. Alright, let's attack with all. And then do this to add maximum face. They have 1 life left. Fingers crossed. Woo! There we are. Victory gotten. Normal flu, but bad. Kept coming back, did not get COVID. Alright, yeah. As far as I know, I've also not had COVID. Even though I've been out and about, like, well, I guess not as much as people are, but like, for a person who doesn't have like a job as such, like a person who just goes to the store to buy food and, you know, goes out to like watch a movie because I got Christmas present movie tickets, that sort of stuff. But I never got COVID, even though I go sorta kinda vaguely often out, like once or twice a week, unless I'm otherwise sick or in pain or something. So nice. Yeah, that was whew, weirdly lucky, but I'll take it. Fancy name is either bronchitis. I think bronchitis is probably the one I'm thinking of. That sounds, because pneumonia is something called a lung okay, so back up. Pneumonia in Finnish is keuhkokuume, which is like kind of serious, and it's not that. Bronchitis is probably the one I'm thinking of. Right. So if you use the Finnish word for pneumonia, keuhkokuume, it translates back to English as lung fever. Whereas I think bronchitis is the one I'm thinking of, where it keuhkoputken tulehdus, which translates straight in English into indeed lung pipe infection, but it's not something you need to like eat medicine for. It's just like a long cough that eventually goes away. Well, that's what happens. So yes, there we are. We got a win. Holy moly! So unless I already forgot a loss, that's 2 wins, 2 losses. It might be 3 losses though. Let's be safe and say 3 losses. So if I invented a loss, I'm putting this up on YouTube, so you'll know the better then, and I'll know the better then as well. Who wants to open a pack with me? Because I actually have one. I waited a bit for the stream to get going, so let's see what the pack has. Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate. I'm actually kind of happy about this block, because I was a huge Baldur's Gate 2 player, and also later on I played Baldur's Gate 1 somewhat as well, so whenever I see like oh, I know that character's name, woo, it's fun. Like, I've had an Imoen and a Sarevok, at least, so alright, let's see. Ooh, couple of firsts. Okay, Iron Golem, artifact creature golem, vigilance, Iron Golem attacks or blocks each combat if able, 5/3, 4 mana. I mean, I know Iron Golems from the games, so okay, Blessed Hippogriff. Okay, 4 mana white. Flying. Whenever Blessed Hippogriff attacks, target attacking creature without flying gains flying until the end of turn. Okay. And it has an adventure spell in there for 1 white mana that is target creature gains indestructible until the end of turn. That's actually pretty decent. And an adventure is you may cast this card as an adventure after you do exile it. You may then cast the creature later from exile. That's actually not... Like, if I had to use for hippogriffs as such, that's interesting, because I've been looking for indestructible things, because I keep getting deck wiped pretty often. Hypnotic Pattern. 1 blue. Instant. Target creature perpetually gets -2/-0. Target creature gets -2/-0 until the end of turn. Wait, so it's both? So it's -4/-0 until the end of turn, but then -2 stays on it. Or... I should... Huh. I should probably Google this thing. Just... Hypnotic pattern. Let's see if the... I'll worry about it later. Okay, so Warriors of Tiamat are creature, dragon warrior, haste, double team, the usual stuff. Lizard folk librarians, 4 mana blue, lizard double team. When lizard folk librarians enters the battlefield, scry 2. Red dragon. We've had this before in a previous block. 6 red mana. Oh, and also Rosie, hi, welcome, glad to have you. I hope you've had a decent day at work. Fire Breath. When Red Dragon enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to each opponent. Owl, Bear, Shepherd, Goblin, Druid. At the beginning of your end step, if creatures you control have total power 8 or greater, draw a card. Ah. Interesting. And Grim Hireling. 4 black mana, Tiefling Rogue. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create 2 treasure tokens. And 1 black mana for sacrifice X treasures. Target creature gets -X until the end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. I mean, that creating mana through that is pretty interesting for sure. This... I mean, so okay, my deck uses the colossal, the thing that lets you draw a card every beginning step if you have a creature that has 4 power or more, or toughness, or yeah, 4 or more power or toughness or something. This is like total power of 8. And it's a creature that, so you get something into the field, it's the same mana value. I think the 4 per creature is slightly more likely to happen, but it's still an interesting choice, though. I should keep that in mind, I think. Alright. Been following the stream from the start while doing other stuff. Cool, thanks. Thanks for following the stream. Yes. Alright. Okay, so yeah. As and indeed, the first win I did offline before I started, so we've won 2, and I think lost 3 or 2. I kind of already forgot when I think one of the losses was pretty quick. So, but I think let's say 3 and just call it there. Okay, not something I should probably change the deck with, but all right. Let's see. But yeah, the moment I changed the deck back into Kabira Takedown, it worked better again. It's like it's magic. The Gathering. Yes. Nice victories. Lucky victories, rather, but yes. Although I still lost more than one. Okie dokie. Yeah, I can try with this. Enough mana to get going. And main parts of the engine are almost there, so I think we can try. Oh, they have a big deck too. 63, 10 cards more than the normal one. Interesting. Black and white. Eesh. Don't like those. They be bad news. Because both colors can sweep the deck clean. Captain Eberhardt. Double strike. Spells cast from among cards you drew this turn cost 1 less to cast. Spells cast from among cards opponents drew this turn cost 1 more to cast. Fuck you too. victories? Yeah, yeah, that's true. They remain victories, yes. Okie dokie. Alright. I've always wondered about, like, the Shakedown Heavy. You get you use 3 mana to get a 6 and 4 creature. I feel that is quite broken. And, I mean, the thing to have them not attack is just bullshit as well. So it's just 6/4 creature for 3 mana. I struggle to think that that isn't somehow hard overpowered. Like, it's just cheating. Okay, right. I don't have anything to go with, though. I have a Dead Colossal Majesty, Fortifying Draught that does basically nothing. 2 land cards, one of which enters the thing tapped, and a Bond of Discipline that's dead. So yeah, we can call it. There's no way to recover from that. Alright, 2 wins, 4 losses. I mean, I'm not surprised. They used basically an overpowered deck. The card with the... that just makes the opponent's cards more expensive is basically cheating. And a 3 mana 6 and 4 is actually cheating. So, cheating is cheating. I should probably go into black decks instead, like black, blue, white, blue, so I can just draw cards endlessly and use the overpowered cards, but yeah, I don't know. Not enough mana to really say it's a good start, but if I draw mana, it can be fine. If I don't, it's dead. So again, black and white. Probably. Black at least. Okay, getting Shambling Ghast from the get-go is really bad. Usually the decks that use this are bullshit beyond bullshit. They tend to be deck wipes. So I probably lost this already. Black and green. That's probably a Poison the Cup card. They almost always use those. And here we are. So they destroyed either my priest or my veteran with that. Like, they almost always are that. Very, very rarely does a black deck foretell anything else. That's another reason why I've considered going into black decks, because I feel that that's just... it feels dreadful, is kind of what it is. Like, you foretell a destroy card with 2 mana, and then use it in the next turn with 1 or 2. It feels not great. Beginning of your upkeep, you may mill 3 cards. If there are 320 or more cards in your graveyard, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Right, okay. Kind of need land pretty badly, huh? All right.
Finally, I'm
All right.
Remember your training.
All right. So I'm doing it into the veteran because otherwise the Ghast can kill it if it blocks and dies. Because it can then do -1/-1 to the veteran, which would then kill it, so. That would be bad. Yeah, rare lands. They've used a lot of money on this deck, huh? When the Meat Hook Massacre enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X until the end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. I never understood how... I think they are cheating. Like, this, I think there's a glitch that causes them to kill my creatures when this comes into the field. Because I don't see any reason why the Hallowed Priest died. It's a 4 and 4 creature, I think. It got apparently -1/-1. So it's 3 and 3, right? And then this died, so it gets -1/-1 again. So it's -2/-2. So it should be alive with 2 and 2, but it died. There shouldn't be a reason why it happened. And yet it died. So I think that's a glitch. Which is lovely.
Strike fast and strike hard.
I don't... Like, I've had that happen before, and I have no idea what the hell happens there. When Null Priest of Oblivion enters the battlefield, Krios Styx loses the game. Right, okay, cool.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Right. Like, I hate playing against black decks. It's always just cheating. Mm-hmm. Whenever Ancient Bronze Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. When you do, put X +1/+1 counters on each of up to 2 target features where X is the result. Wow, cheating. Yeah, I can't really win, but they're cheating, so we can just let them do their thing and do something else instead. Okie dokie. So yeah, that's what that is. So 2 wins, 5 losses. Lovely. Yeah. I'd love to understand what happens there. Like, why did my hallowed priest die? Like, if someone can explain that to me, I'd be just overjoyed with understanding, like, what the fuck? But, you know, we all have our dreams, right? Okie dokie. Well, I think we can all agree that that is quite the day. Right. So I think we need to kill some time anyway before we can go back there to have the fight actually be over. So right, if you're watching this on YouTube, hi, don't play Magic. Bye.